Hello and welcome to the final Devember video. This one is a little unique. This one is for the Minecraft server that we set up this year. We've run a couple different community-built servers before for Minecraft and of course other games. This one is unique in that A, we had our help from our friends at Linode, and B, this one is also a bloody fight to the death. The rules for this are simple. Each person who logs in, they get their plot of land, they build to their heart's content, and then at the end of the month, they submit their build on our forum, and then I make a giant spreadsheet, and I go through every single one. Now, I've been playing Minecraft for years. I think it was actually the very first PC game I really ever played, unless you count Pac-Man Adventures in Time, which I don't think anyone really counts. But, I met my husband in Minecraft, which is embarrassing to say, but I'll tell you guys, I don't care. And, the game has a lot of good memories for me. And so I was really excited to see what everyone in the community would build, and I have to say, I was expecting a certain level of spectacularness, but you guys have completely blown it out of the water, and you guys are probably seeing some of the B-roll for that right now, and some of the builds on the server that didn't even place, but are just absolutely incredible. And I'm really, really excited for you guys to see just what the community's been up to this year, and I'm really excited to give out some prizes as well. So let's get started. Number 10, Horsenoodle's Desert Market. Horsenoodle's build was one of the earliest on the server. They're about a stone's throw away from the spawn point build I made before we even launched everything. It's also one of the more unique builds that I saw. I chose this for the finalists because of the scale. This is a pretty large build, but it also really fits nicely in the biome it's located in. I liked how it used everyday materials like leaves and sandstone, and so it sort of blends into that desert. Again, it feels thematically appropriate. It's also probably one of the more ethical homes for villagers that we have on this server. Good job. Number 9, IFC 2000's Picard's Mansion and Vineyard. There are certain builds in this list that are no question bait. Now in this case, IFC 2000 was clearly going for another fish when they built this, but I have to respect a replica of Picard's Mansion and Vineyard from Star Trek. This build is smaller in scale than some of the others on the list, but they did a great job of terraforming to really get the idea of vineyard across. There are literally hundreds of berry plants in this entire valley. Other great details exist in the stables and farmhouse. Check out the piano for a cool Easter egg. Number 8, Max 1220, Bridge and Railway System. Max is an absolute madman. We were kind of talking about there are certain regulars on the server, and Max is definitely one of them. He's built multiple projects on the server. We're talking several little tiny homes, a tower, a treehouse. But I think his most notable contributions are definitely to transportation infrastructure throughout the server that gets people from point A to point B. There are literally multiple rail stations. But the one that I really wanted to focus on for this is the bridge near the spawn area. It is an incredible work of art. I've never seen glass panes used like this before to kind of create this gossamer effect, but I will definitely be incorporating that into some builds of my own in the future. Number 7, sausagetoes, Hobbit Hole. We've had one bait build, yes, but what about a second bait build? This one, it's a Hobbit Hole, and so of course I'm going to love it. This is a great example though of a small scale build on the server, and it's also a really creative use of blocks and things like trapdoors to create a rounded and organic appearance. That's not something that's easy to do in Minecraft when literally everything is a block. There are also lots of great, cute features that would make any hobbit happy to call this place home. Number 6, gackelgaxter, White House. This is another early build that showed up near the spawn point on the server, and it puts Ryan's shack next to it to shame. But it is based on a real-life building. This is the White House. The one that's in the capital of the United States. And it's not just the White House, but also the Rose Garden, the Secret Service, and even the President's desk. The build is even complete with a recreation of Hail to the Chief when you walk in. It's incredible. Number 5, phaselockedloop, with some help from some friends, Viking Village. This is another really large scale build in the same vein as like Horsenoodle's Market, and it's also in a pretty remote location. Phaselockedloop was my neighbor for most of Devember up in the mountains, and I got to see this detailed Viking village come to life in real time. There are multiple buildings, there are boats, there are longhouses. It is truly crazy how many little buildings there are. There's also a giant Christmas tree. And if you're thinking, well, this was already a snow biome, think again. Every bit of snow and crushed ice was placed by hand. Number 4, Retroflux MC, Monster in the Pit, and Nightcap Hotel. Speaking of really unique locations, this is probably one of the rarest biomes that exists in Minecraft. The Mushroom Island. I think this actually might be the only one on the server. Start your visit here at the Nightcap Motel. It's also complete with a custom map painting, which is a non-trivial amount of work, and you can also explore from there. My favorite feature on the entire island is the Monster Pit, complete with gas, skeletal monsters, and a smoky purple haze. Number 3, I'm gonna say this wrong. I'm gonna try my best, but I'm gonna say it wrong. Number 3, Techisattva Mushroom House. This is kind of like the point in the program where a previously really difficult task becomes impossible, and I had a really hard time picking the top 3. But third on this list is Techie's Mushroom House. It's a beautiful and whimsical retreat in a dark forest biome. I chose this build for third place because of its excellent detail work, use of color, forest theme, and fun hidden passageways. And of course, the puns. Number 2, Ursavus, the Ender Eye of Sauron. We saw a lot of towers on this server, like seriously a lot, but this one really takes the cake. It's very unique. This is a giant recreation of the Eye of Ender / Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. And look at all this colored glass, configured in a sphere. That was a non-trivial undertaking. But that's not the only thing that really made this build stand out. There's also a mob spawner, water elevators, and a throne room for the end portal. In addition to all of this, Ursavus also built an ice road highway for easier nether travel for all users on the server. Absolutely incredible. I keep saying it, but it is absolutely incredible. Number 1, Noodle777, Mouth of the Beast. It was ridiculously hard to pick someone for the number 1 slot, but this is the one that I think kind of hits all of my favorite things about Minecraft. It's whimsical, it has a fun backstory, and it uses a lot of really different materials in a way that I've never seen before. This build is almost entirely bone. The amount of skeleton farming that took place here is astounding. But it wasn't just the hard to obtain materials that made this stand out. It's also how they were used to create a story. Noodle wrote a small book at the entrance of his base, writing as if he was an archaeological explorer who found the beast's remains in the desert. And throughout the build, you can see the hints of this. The rib bones, the skull, red vines and viscera that indicate where the beast was. In addition to the creative side of this, there were also a lot of other more practical elements in the build. Things like water elevators, automated redstone sorting, a locked redstone vault, and a mob spawner with an observation window. And that's just on the inside. We're not even counting the clouds at the top of the base yet. Noodle, well done. Your build was the most impressive for Devember 2020. Alright, so we've gone through all the builds at this point, or at least all the ones that I thought were the best. Obviously, you're going to want to go through and look at these yourself. You may be disagreeing with me right now in my judgments. That being said, I am pretty confident in my number 1 choice. And that is it. Like I said, some of you are probably looking at this list and you're thinking, well, why did you put this one here or this one there? But what about the one at the start or the one that I found when I went to the forum and looked at these? The answer is, these are just the ones I liked. That being said, I think it is definitely worth logging on and checking out all of these for yourself. There are so many that aren't even featured in this video that you need to see to believe. We're going to have the server up for probably another few months. We have enough Linode credits to keep it up, and if not, we'll definitely move it to our own hosting. But yeah, go check it out. It's so cool. And go out there and build something yourself. We had a really good time. We'll definitely be doing this contest again next year, and I'm looking forward to seeing and judging all of your results again. Thanks to everybody who pitched in, helped us out on the forum. helped us out with the server setup, with the anti-griefing things. That was kind of a nightmare at the start. But we appreciate all of you, and we'll see you in the next video.